We're live, and we're back with our regular scheduled programming.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Mr. Free Hugs.
I'm Chris, and in this video,
I will be sharing with you guys the very first Disney princess. I will be giving you guys a proper adult review, showing you how to unbox, customizing, and how to rebox. I purchased this doll from the Disney store for their original sale, which is $14.95 US for one doll and $12 for 2 dolls or more. You can see Snow White has a green background, which goes well with her red, yellow, and blue dress. Here's the bottom of the box. You can see the shape of the box. The box has English and French. Because these dolls sell in the US and Canada only. I'm going to be removing these 2 clear pieces of tape, leaving these 2 right here on the front alone, because these 2 are holding in the top lid. For these 2 pieces of tape, I'm going to be peeling it towards me so that I don't rip this paperboard. There's this plastic lid or window that is attached to the paperboard with all of these little slots right here. There is 2 tabs at the top, 3 on each side. There's 1 more down at the bottom right here. So I'm just going to pop these tabs off very carefully so that I don't rip the paperboard. Both Snow White and Aurora have the paperboard insert right here that's not attached to the outer packaging with clear tape. Some of the dolls had some tape right here to keep the 2 packagings together. I just slide it out. So now I want to remove all of the unnecessary packaging. So I'm going to take this off, take this ring out. She has the plastic tabs that are holding in her ankles, which I'm going to leave. Her hands are attached to this plastic fastener, which is held to her hand with an elastic. This black plastic piece right here is keeping the paperboard from ripping because of the bendy wire is really tight. Remove all of this clear tape. I am trying to do this all with one hand because I'm filming with my phone, and I apologize for filming in my car, but this is the only quiet place that I can make this video. I don't know what this rubber band is attached to, So the rubber band is like wrapped into the bendy wire, and I think it's holding her right elbow. Now I have to remove the tabs, the plastic tabs on these Disney store dolls, or at least the Snow White is attached to the paperboard, so you need to be a lot more careful because for Barbie, the plastic tabs are attached to another separate plastic piece. Trying to remove her shoes that are held in with the elastic rubber bands here. The shoes are really good quality. They're made out of flexible vinyl. And they're a very nice shape, even though there are flats. Now I'm gonna slide her out of the plastic cable holding in her ankles. Okay, so I also just remembered while doing this that I watched another review on YouTube, and she said that there are plastic tabs holding in the cape down to the box. So I'm going to cut these plastic tabs. I will leave her name somewhere on the screen because she was what made me want to buy these Disney store dolls. The bendy wire is attached to her shoulders and it's twisted around to her back here. Here is what she looks like from the back. And from the other review that I saw, I thought that this cape was uglier and cheaper than I thought, but it's actually not that bad. This is a $14.95 priced doll, and it is meant for children, so I'm not going to complain about the quality. But these dolls do have pretty high quality considering that they are the price that they are. The plastic cables have left a little hole here in the cape. The glitter overlay piece is continued to the back of the dress. Her feet have the little holes in them, just like the way old Barbies used to have. And she has bend and snap knees, some movement at the hips. She has painted on underwear that's the same color as her yellow skirt. Her body is extremely good vinyl. Her joints are very tight. Her dress is very accurate to the movie. You can see she has this gold piece going down the front of her bodice. She has printed on red pattern onto her sleeves, and her sleeves do have elastic down here at the bottom of her puff sleeves. You guys need to be very careful with this cape in the back because it's not finished off. So when you're taking off the dress on and off, you want to lift this cape upwards and then remove the Velcro and then put the cape back down. Her yellow skirt is made out of pretty average type of quality, like any other Playline doll. A lot of gel in her hair. She actually has some black fishing line tying these front pieces to the rest of her hair. So it's not elastic rubber bands, so I won't need to cut that off. Her red headband or ribbon has elastic in the back, and her head sculpt says Disney China. Disney China sculpted onto her lower back. Here's her face. It's very cute. Her bow is supposed to be in the middle of her head instead of to the side. Her skirt underneath is filled with tissue, and she does have the Made in China tag, and it says Disney. So now we're going to move on to customizing the paperboard. There's all these slits from the packaging, and if that bothers you, you can try to cover it up with something. I'm going to cut this off because I want the front of her box to be as clear as possible so that the focus is on the doll and not this packaging here. You can see it's not very straight, it's a little bit jagged. If you want to like recut that, you could, but I don't recommend it. When you're gonna cut something like this, you need to do it in like one shot and make it as perfect as you can. I'm not too particular about this being perfect because it's, you know, it's all the way at the top. It's pretty hard to notice unless you're really looking at it. For this bottom portion, just like Princess Aurora, I'm going to cut around this name tag here and then under this Disney princess right here and then go upwards. And remember to leave as much of this paperboard as possible. One, because you need to put this plastic window back on into this slot right here, but also it needs to be large enough so that it can cover her dress at the bottom here, so that her dress will be kind of pushed back with this paperboard. I'm going to open this up and lay it flat so it's easy to cut. So I already started making some cuts. To make this corner right here, I'm going to use an X-Acto knife so that it's easier to slide these large scissors here. So I forgot to bring an X-Acto knife, but you want to just make clean, tiny little strokes. Now I'm just testing out to see what she's going to look like back in her box. I slid her feet back into the plastic cable here, and you do need this to keep the doll in place. Just one wire at the top, like at her waist, is not going to keep the doll in place. Here you can see the two little holes in her feet. And I opened up this paperboard here so it makes it easier to put on these shoes, because now that her feet are in this plastic cable here, it's going to be hard to put on these shoes. I attached the black piece back on, so just remember where or how the doll was packaged so that you can put it into the right holes. I tried to wrap this bendy wire around her shoulders the way it originally was. With all of these extra pieces, I usually tuck it all into underneath the skirt, but because Snow White's skirt is really short, I can't do that because all of these pieces will fall out, especially like this piece because this has a ring in it and I don't want to throw it away. But usually with all of these other pieces, I like to keep them. I don't know. I just don't like throwing stuff away if I don't have to. Now I'm just posing Snow White so that she can cover up as much of the packaging as possible. So with her cape, I'm going to slide it over so that it covers up this hole right here and one of these slots for the plastic fasteners that were for her hands. And then for this arm, I'm just going to use this hand to cover up the slot right here. I don't know what to do with this area yet. Here is what my Snow White looks like back in her box. The packaging looks a lot cleaner without the Disney Store logo at the top. The jagged cut is like barely noticeable unless you really look at it. I went ahead and just cut straight across here because on this side it has like this red piece right here on the side, which looks ugly. It's not straight at all. It's very crooked. I'm okay with it because I'm going to be the only person looking at it. The paperboard is not long enough to like cover her dress, but that's because Snow White's dress is, you know, shorter. But this does give you a chance to see Snow White's shoes.
If you guys have any questions or comments about the doll, please leave them down below and I'll get back to you. Hope you guys take care and I'll see you in my next video.